My mother-in-law handed me an envelope and said I should have given you this 3 years ago. I had been married to her son for 6 years. In that time, we had shared so many family dinners, and not once had she and I been alone together for more than 10 minutes. She was never unkind. She was also never warm. There was a calibrated distance between us that neither of us had ever named. Daniel was traveling for work. She texted and asked if she could stop by. I assumed something had happened with my husband's father's health. I opened the door to find her standing in the hallway with her coat still on, like she intended to make it quick. She set the envelope on the counter between us. It was unsealed. Inside was a letter handwritten on her personal stationery. I recognized the ink and the careful cursive I had seen on birthday cards every year, but the letter was not addressed to me. It was addressed to my husband Daniel. She told me to read it. The letter was dated a few weeks before our wedding. In it, she told her son that she had been wrong about me from the beginning, that she had spent 2 years looking for reasons not to trust me, and had found none, that the woman he was marrying was steady in a way she hadn't expected and hadn't deserved the treatment she received from this family. She used that word treatment. She had written that if he ever found himself uncertain in the marriage, he should remember that she had seen me at my most unguarded when I didn't know she was watching, and that what she saw had made her ashamed of her own behavior. She had never sent it. I set the letter down. My hands were steadier than I expected. She told me she had written it and then convinced herself it would make things awkward, that it would require a conversation she wasn't sure how to have. She had kept it in the nightstand for many years, moving it each time she cleaned out the drawer, never quite able to throw it away. Her husband had found it last week while she was in the hospital for a routine checkup. He read it without telling her. Then he asked her quietly whether she had ever said any of those things out loud. She hadn't. He told her she should fix that. I stood in my kitchen for a long time after she finished talking. She didn't rush me. She waited with her coat still on hands, folded in front of her. I asked her what had changed her mind back then, before she wrote the letter. She said it was a Sunday in October, early in the engagement. She had come over unannounced, which she did more often. Then she said she found me in the kitchen talking to her son. Not about anything significant, just talking the way people do when no one is watching. She said the way I looked at him when he wasn't looking back was the thing she'd spent 2 years pretending she hadn't seen. I didn't know what to say. To that, she placed one hand over mine on the counter for exactly 3 seconds. Then she picked up her purse, said she hoped I had a good evening, and let herself out. I sat at the kitchen table for a long time after the door closed. I thought about the 100 small moments I had filed under indifference that might need to be refiled under something else. I thought about how many people carry the right words for years before they find the courage to say them. I thought about how forgiveness sometimes arrives, not because someone changed, but because you finally understand what they were working against. Daniel called that night from the hotel. I told him his mother had stopped by. He asked if everything was okay. I said yes, and I meant it differently than I had in the last so many years.